Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
And we are coming at you from the podcast / storm shelter palace.
I'm drenched, soaking wet.
Yeah, in Norman, Oklahoma, where...
We are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have eligibility left. And let's get all the stuff out of line, whatever you're listening to us on, whether it be YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Bob's Radio, whatever. Subscribe to us.
Click the like button.
Click the like button. Go follow us on Twitter. SoonerFB Fans is our Twitter handle, our Facebook page. And we are just Sooner football fans on Facebook. And also go check us out, our website at www.soonerfootballfans.com, where you can read our semi-annual, semi-weekly blog called It's Just Our Opinion, Don't Lose Your Minds. And it's just our opinions. We never say we're right, but we also... Never
wrong.
Exactly. So, go check out our blog. We put a little bit of stuff out there. It's a lot of stuff that we talk about. But also, if you haven't made plans to go to UCLA to join us in Southern California at the Rose Bowl in beautiful Pasadena, California,
it's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a great time. You need to check out Tailgate Connect. Dan, the tailgater, Dan Donnelly, has set up a Sooner football fans tailgate. Go to www.tailgateconnect.com. You can find all the information there. Sign up. He's got a big spread. It's going to be a bunch of folks out there going to have a good time. And also, we want you to check out Louie's on Campus Corner. That's where we do our Thursday night videos from. Thursday night at Louie's. Great group of folks out there. I highly recommend you get the Italian Stallion sandwich. It's a new one out there. It is amazing. But tell them that we sent you and say hi. And come and join us on a Thursday night. We get there early.
Plenty of room?
Plenty of room. We're in the back dining room. Not because that's where they put us, is that's where we went when we started going there. We don't want people to think that we, got stuck to the back. But anyway... Speaking of that, the first thing I want to get off my chest, Rob, is, I sent you a text, was it Saturday morning? About our YouTube video?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had a nice little YouTube video that we came out with. It's out there now, but we had to do some editing to it because it didn't show up. Dropped it out there early Friday morning. Couldn't find it. It's like, why isn't my video there? So I kept looking. I thought, well, maybe it's just something it's, sometimes you put stuff out, it's slow to catch up. Still wasn't out. I didn't get a message or anything. I finally found the video on our channel, when you go to edit stuff. And our Thursday night NFL draft watch party video had been blocked by a certain unnamed professional football league.
NFL.
For copyright infringements.
Way to go, Terry. We're going to jail.
Yeah, we're going to NFL jail. But because we did our beginning, which is you can see out there on YouTube, and then we just videoed fans' reaction, and me, Rob, and Holzhammer did a little bit afterwards. And Teresa, my wife, who does our videos, she did a good job. She had one of the TVs up there, They announced Kyler as the number one pick. We all cheered, kind of talked, and then in our video, we had the NFL in the background. Mm-hmm. Well, the NFL said that the TV...
Copyright infringement,
and that you could hear it in the background throughout, because it was pretty loud. They had it up loud, but you could still hear us, but it was because it was being played in the background.
Terry, I blame you.
I blame me too. Now, what got me was that they said they were going to go ahead and allow it. However, it may not be available on all formats. Like if you're trying to watch it on your phone or computer, it may not be available on all formats. And the NFL reserved the right to show commercials during it. So the NFL could monetize. The NFL monetized it. They said, we'll allow it, but we're going to put commercials.
My cut?
Yeah, exactly. So
go ahead and just bring us on full time.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and sign us up.
So anyway, the NFL first blocked it. Then they said they would allow it. It wasn't overly, we didn't claim that it was ours, or anything. It was obvious.
It was on the TV and the place we're at.
It was obvious that it was in a crowd of people, but they said we're going to allow it. However, we will, the NFL will be playing ads. I don't know what kind of ads, but monetizing it so they would get paid if anybody watched our video. So I deleted it, and then I just went and cut it. And just took everything out that had any NFL in the background sound or anything else. So we have been censorized.
All right.
By the NFL. How does that make you feel, Rob?
Well, it feels pretty good, actually. I mean, who all can say that the NFL censorized them?
Yeah, the NFL said, you can't put that out there. Oh, wait, yeah, you can. And then we're going to get money off of it, since we're going to let you.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so, but, and that's another thing I do want to say. I do want to bring up our big announcement. We will have a big announcement sometime during this.
Oh, yeah.
This podcast. So
excellent.
We will drop our big news, big announcement sometime during this podcast. So you got to listen. You can't skip around.
We're building a little drama here. So.
Yeah. So hopefully that, people will, it's pretty cool though. Our big announcement. We've known it for a little bit. We've been, I meant to say that at our very beginning stuff, but, so that's what's happened to us. With our video. So we got slapped by the NFL, and we took it like a man and learned from our mistakes, and we won't make them again. So,
well, we're still just rookies, I think.
Yeah. So, and with that, also we got our big news. What was something else I was going to bring up? There was something else. We've had some fans reach out and ask us to do more podcasts. Okay. Which we're going to try to do. Right now, we've been on kind of a hiatus. We've had some personal stuff going on both ends. This is not mine and Rob's job, unfortunately. However, if y'all want it to be our job, if people start taking up donations and
so if there's anybody out there rich
that wants to start a podcast, that wants to help us, but. No, so we have our regular jobs. We got other things going on. This month, I am going to be reaching out to those fans who are lined up to be on the podcast, because we do have fans lined up because of some stuff. We got some trips planned this month. This month is a big trip plan.
I know, and I've got, oh my gosh, we're so busy at OU. I'm not even kidding you.
Really?
Like, they're going to hate me.
we got Tulsa coming up this weekend. We're taking a little trip up to Tulsa. Rob and I and Teresa are going to hang out with some Sooner fans up there.
Like for nothing.
And then 2 weeks from there, we will be making a trip. Rob and Caleb and I will be making a trip to Arlington to catch Cardinals Rangers baseball weekend.
Major League Baseball.
And then we're kind of, but Teresa and I are taking a trip to Memphis to see an old friend of mine, which brings up another thing I wanted to bring up, Mike Bertaldo. What's up, Mike? I want to really also talk about the music that plays before and after our videos and our stuff. First off, on our podcast, the opening song is from JD. A good friend of ours we've met through the podcast. His band is called Iron Glide. That song that plays is off one of their CDs, and it's the song that they've let us use. And JD's a good friend. He comes out to
Louis on Thursdays, and they are really talented.
Yeah, a really good band. And JD is just a nice guy, if you ever get to meet him. But they have allowed us to use their music. And then also, primarily on our YouTube video, the music that starts off that is a band called Fever Tree, who is out. Both of these bands, one of them, Iron Glide, is out of Nashville. Fever Tree is out of Memphis. But they both have huge Sooner fans on. Mike Bertaldo who's the guitarist. If you hear the solo that's playing, that's the guitarist. Me and Mike grew up together, played in a band together, but have reconnected through the podcast and stuff. But we're going out to Memphis to see them, him and his wife, and hang out.
You going down on Beale Street?
Yes, we are.
All right.
So we're going to go down to Beale Street. His band, Fever Tree's got a gig Friday night on the 31st. We're going to catch that. And then Saturday, we're going down to Beale Street and see how much of that I'll remember when we're done with Beale Street. But anyway, both these bands got people in them who are big Sooner fans. And so you can find their stuff on pretty much anywhere. Spotify. Fever Tree's album is out, their first album, Lessons Learned. It's available on Amazon, but it's out on Spotify and stuff. But Mike and I grew up. He's a huge Sooner fan. Fever Tree's that band. And then JD from Iron Glide's that band. Check them out. Both big Sooner fans, so they deserve it. And great music. Both of them play great music. But anyway, that's where we're going at the end of this month. So really June is when we'll start getting more podcasts in, getting ready for the season. So we haven't forgot about everybody. It's just that this, again, is our hobby, our fun time.
Yeah, don't let me forget, Terry, I'd get some news on that front for my own self. I'll be announcing hopefully pretty quick.
Okay.
Forgot to tell you before we started the podcast.
Are you getting married?
No.
No.
God, no. Oh, God, no.
Okay. Just making sure.
But my Saturdays may free up.
Uh-oh. Sweet.
Maybe.
Sweet.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, let's get into a little bit of Sooner talk. Well, no, before we get into Sooner talk. What were you wanting to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, we have not talked about Tiger winning the Masters.
Exactly. I was going to bring that up.
Was you?
But before we bring that up, first off, a shout out to our guys at Just Okay Sports. They do a podcast that's just Oklahoma sports, which is why it's called Just Okay Sports. We've met them. We've been to the coaches show. But they do Thunder podcasts. Okay. I couldn't imagine having to talk about the Thunder right now.
No, God, no. No, it'd be like us droning on and on about the OU defense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you got the Oklahoma defense, and you got to talk about the Thunder or the lack of Thunder that the Thunder have. So we're not going to get into that, but it's just I wanted to give them a shout out because, man, it must be, listening to the radio and watching the game. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, I literally. The last game, Rob, the one they lost, I was doing something and I turned it on. I think it was in the second or third quarter, and they drove the ball in and they, passed it out to Westbrook. Westbrook shot like a 92,000 foot, 3-pointer.
Wait, aren't there just like two halves in pro basketball?
No, that's college basketball.
That's college.
Yeah.
Okay, you see how much I watch.
Yeah. But I mean, I literally just turned it right. They were behind, and I was like, I'm not going to sit there and watch that. I'm just not going to do it. It just make me mad. So turned it off. But yeah, I couldn't imagine having to sit and talk about that.
Although I did want to watch the Warriors Rockets game tonight because they're getting a little chippy. I just want to see somebody punch Kevin Durant right in his face. I mean, I don't think Kevin Durant would do well in a fight. He'd get broke. He'd get broken. Yeah. Especially if it was like Russ. I'm pretty sure Russ would be like it'd be like Yoda dancing all around. Yeah. you just be getting hit from all over.
Or really, I'd like to see Steven Adams get a hold of him.
Oh, yeah, no, that wouldn't be good.
Adams is just, and that's a guy we've always said I would love to just sit down and have a pitcher of beer with, and
he'd be a great conversation. I promise you.
But anyway, we haven't talked about Tiger winning the Masters. Did you cry, Rob?
No tears were shed.
Now, come on.
I was pretty happy about it. I mean, I don't necessarily Tiger's not my favorite golfer or anything, but I was glad to see him come back and win, and especially because of that deal that Traber's got going. Yeah. Now, I don't listen to Traber at all because I don't either. Stand him. I mean, he just rakes on me. But, I really kind of wanted to listen to a show after that to hear people, rag on him or whatever, but I never did.
Yeah, well, because he doesn't allow it. I mean,
he doesn't?
He didn't allow it. I mean, it was, I don't know if you saw the deal where somebody paid for somebody to decorate his yard with signs, and this company puts out like "Happy Birthday" or "It's a Girl."
Oh no!
And they put like Tiger wins and Well, it's their property, okay, and you basically rent it to put it in somebody's yard. And I don't know the outcome of it, but there was a Facebook post where she talked about he was obnoxious. He wouldn't give her stuff back. I think he ended up paying for all the stuff, but it was you shouldn't have put it in my yard. And she goes, well, I mean, it was, come on, it was a joke, for crying out loud,
Not to him. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. Tiger's not my favorite golfer. I don't know who would be right now, but he dominated for so long.
Oh yeah. And then dominate is an easy word for what he did.
And he's also, living proof that a woman scorned can tear you apart.
How long ago was that? And I mean, he was down for so
I think
long.
was it 14 years they said, or 9 years? I can't remember.
I don't know. Of course, I mean, his back played.
Yeah, but I mean, that came after that. I mean, he went off the. When all that happened, I mean, and I know, I mean, everybody knows all the story, but I mean, mentally, he just lost it.
Well, she put that 9-iron upside his head, knocked him a little goofy.
Yeah, and he just wasn't himself, and then he started having the back problems, and whoever his doctor is, I mean, that fixed his back this last time, man, that he could even play, because it was a year ago that he was saying he wasn't sure if he would ever play golf again.
Yeah.
And
well, when you have as much money as he does, you can find a doctor. You can find the best doctor. I mean, you can go to the top doctor in the world and say, "Hey, fix this.
Fix it."
Money is not an issue for him. So.
Yeah. But I mean, it's amazing that it was the longest drought between Masters, I think, or between major wins. So, hats off to
him.
But I'll be on. It wasn't crying, but I teared up. It was that man feeler. Yeah, kind of like when Rudy got the sack.
He was off sacks.
Yeah. But just that. Yes, good for him. And
yeah, but having said all that, I don't think tournament in and tournament out that he can compete with these guys that are playing now.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously just won the Masters.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion is the biggest tournament on the planet.
Yeah.
But so really it's unfounded for me to say I don't think he can compete with these guys.
No, I think his competition level now is I think he just wants to compete in the majors. And he's going to play in all he's going to play in all the other ones and just keep his form down. But I think that he has that type of mentality that he's going to be okay. I got the Masters. All these in between majors is just practice rounds.
Well, I don't think all of them, Terry, are a lifetime pass. Like if you win the major or the Masters,
right,
lifetime pass. You can play it as long as you want to play it. You can play it. I don't know that the U.S. Open's that way. There's a certain qualifying number.
Yeah, qualifying.
So if all he did was play in majors, he wouldn't qualify at some point.
That's
to
true.
Play in those.
But you know what I mean. I think I don't think it's his goal to dominate golf. I think it's his goal to dominate the majors. So if he can keep qualified is what I guess is the best part. Keep qualified for him, and then him turn on, the Tigerism or whatever it's called.
He's got, it's working.
Showed up, in his, turtleneck, Nike red.
Well, you realize that is out of uniform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all those golf courses require a minimum of a collar, and his doesn't have one. So I'm just saying they should take the trophy back now.
No, yeah, should take a trophy back. Yeah. But anyway, it was good to see. I mean, I don't think anybody, everybody in their life makes mistakes. Regardless of whether it's spousal or kids or anything else. You make mistakes, he's rebounded from it, and
one sin's just as bad as another.
So, but good for Tiger. So we've got the Tiger talk.
And it was a great tournament too.
Yeah, it was. It was fun to watch. It was weird though that they had them 3 up, three on.
You know why they did that?
Yeah, because of the weather that was moving in. So,
but if you remember when Tiger came on the scene, he was out driving everybody 20, 30 yards.
Yeah.
And now most of those guys, Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy, they're out driving him 20, 30 yards. So his game has evolved. I mean, he's definitely a better golfer now, but the competition that he's facing now is a whole lot steeper.
Yeah.
The only person he faced back then was Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, do you think he's going to catch Jack?
No, I don't think so. And for the same reason I just said, is the guys that are playing right now are really, really good. So I think he's still good, no doubt about it. I think the Masters is his probably most favorite golf course in the world, and he played well, and everybody else didn't quite play as well as he did.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say that because he beat him. So
he just stayed back and waited for him to make that mistake. I mean, and I think not that he knew they were going to make a mistake, but he knew that they were prone to make it because he's been in that position for the first time. Going oof.
Francisco Molinari, who's never won the Masters, he's walking down the back 9 of the Masters on Sunday with, oh my gosh, I'm in the lead.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of
Then your next ball goes 50 yards right and hits a tree and bounces back.
Yeah. So, which is kind of how I play golf anyway.
Well, well, it's more fun that way.
Yeah, yes.
That's why we do it.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can hit a golf ball straight,
right? Curve it out in them woods, buddy. Let's see you do that.
Out at your apartments, you've seen me bounce one off one of the buildings out there back into the fairway.
Listen, you got to put 3 or 4 in the water, or you're not even having fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, one of the things we're going to start doing, we've got since we don't have a guest, a fan on today, but we've got the Sooner bucket of questions, which is life questions, and then we have the Sooner not a Sooner. We're going to start a deal we're going to call it Boomers.
Boomer!
Give a boomer! We're going to give a boomer to somebody. And you can nominate people for boomers if you just want to, DM us on Twitter. Just, somebody that deserves a boomer. So we're going to start doing that as well. And we'll give out one of our first boomers here in just a little bit. But another thing, Rob, I'm always slipping around looking for stuff to talk about before we get into Sooner Talk. But I found a list of the 150, slangs that people don't use anymore.
Oh boy, this should be good.
And I thought we'd do this with fans, but I thought I'd kick it off with us today. So, see if you know what any of these terms you
challenge accepted,
or if you can use them in a sentence.
Oh, okay.
Foam domes.
Foam. F-O-A-M. Foam dome.
Yeah, foam domes.
Let's see. No.
No. Did you ever watch Animal House?
Yes, I did.
Okay. It's an Animal House era reference to putting Kleenex in one's bra.
Ah.
Using it in a sentence.
Was that 1962?
You won't catch me ever wearing foam domes.
Okay.
So foam domes was somebody stuffing their bra.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You did not know that.
I'm educated.
Yeah. Split. That's a slang word. Split.
Split.
Yes.
Yes, I can do this one.
Okay.
I want a banana split.
No.
Dang it.
No, banana split is not slang.
Huh.
You never heard split, never used the term.
Well, like leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, split. Wish I could stick around, fellas, but I got a split.
That's out of style?
Yeah, it's out of style now.
Note to self.
Note.
All right.
Bogart. Do you know what bogarting is?
Bogarting. It is the act of saying, play it again, Sam.
No.
Oh.
Way off.
Okay.
You don't know what bogarting is?
I kind of.
That's if you're sharing something and hogging it. Okay. It can. And now the term I used to hear it on was with cigarettes back in the day. Don't bogart the cigarette.
Okay.
But it can be anything. If you're at a movie and you got to,
Wait, hold up. People share cigarettes?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Not guys, okay?
All right.
No, but like if you're at a movie and you got a bucket of popcorn and the one person sitting there eating all the popcorn, you go, don't bogart the popcorn.
Don't bogart the popcorn. We need to bring some of these back.
Yeah, bogart's a good one. Yeah. Hey, don't bogart that.
Okay, so you need to do the research. Where did it come from, though?
Yeah, well, all it's inspired by actor Humphrey Bogart's tendency to let cigarettes dangle in his mouth for way longer than was necessary. So it had to do with cigarettes.
Well, so my original reference was a Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart. Yeah.
Okay. All
right. Let's see. And these are there's something that are. Let's go spaz. Did you ever use the term spaz?
I'm sure I did, because when people are flipping out.
Yep, there you go. Spaz is someone behaving like it's just consumed several pots of caffeinated coffee and they're no longer entirely in control of their own limbs. The example is, what's wrong with you? You're acting like Richard Simmons after too many Jolt Colas. Calm down, you're a spaz. So, yeah, but there's 150 of them. We won't go into too many of them.
Well, it certainly sounds interesting, and I think we can resurrect a few of them.
Yeah, we'll find some and start using them here on the podcast.
Bogarting,
yeah. Like Bogart defensive players.
Like, how's my son going to bogart all my money while he's in college?
Well, let's jump into a little Sooner talk. We've rambled on here without talking Sooners for a little bit. Let's just hit the draft.
Okay.
Because I got a feeling the draft is going to be like the last bit of good news we get to talk about for a while until the season starts.
Come on.
Yes, I'm being negative. But Kyler Murray, first off, let me give the first boomer out. Okay. First boomer is to Rodney Anderson. Congratulations, Rodney Anderson. He was the number 211th pick to the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't like the Bengals. Don't like orange.
I don't either, but I really, really hope he does well. I hope he's Rookie of the Year. Of course, I don't know how many carries he's going to get behind Mixon, but.
Well, this will answer one of those questions if he stays healthy and stuff. Is which was the better back?
It's not a fair comparison right now because Mixon's been in the NFL for how many years now?
2 years now, I guess.
So he's strengthened and you understand.
Yeah.
Let's compare him in 3 years or something.
But anyway, Kyler Murray was the number one pick to the Arizona Cardinals, and shortly thereafter, the chosen Rosen was sent away to the Miami Dolphins for I want to say a 4th round pick.
Was he complaining?
And a pick next year. So he was the 10th pick last year, and he got traded for basically a 4th round pick and a pick that they don't get.
Wow.
He didn't complain. I know that I saw one deal when he, I guess, popped off, I think, on social media that, all right, now I'll just beat him out, and everybody think he laughed pretty loud.
So what do you think? Because there's going to be a lot of pressure on Kyler now. Because they've essentially named him the starter.
Oh yeah, what else are they going to do?
Right. They're going to ride or die with him. I think.
Again, I don't know how Kingsbury got the job. Other than like Rob said, he's pretty. Maybe
he is pretty.
But
people say we look just alike.
Yeah. But. Not that I don't think Kyler will do well in the NFL. But like you said, their whole team is riding on Kyler Murray, and what he does.
Well, I think he's proved himself. So until he can't, I'm going to think he can.
Yeah. Who's going to be better? Who's going to have the best NFL career, Baker or Kyler?
Oh boy, probably Kyler, because Baker plays for the Browns.
And you have that Browns, dilemma hanging over your head at all times.
Well, I don't know.
Possible.
It's hard to say. I don't know that you can necessarily say one's going to be better than the other one right now.
Yeah.
Baker has shown that he's gonna be good. He's gonna make it. But we've had some great quarterbacks come from here. Jason White is a great example that really didn't make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I always felt like he should have, could have. He had that kind of, in my opinion, had that kind of talent.
And Sam Bradford, when he played with the Rams, he just never had a running game or an offensive line. The guy
never had any blocking.
Yeah.
Everywhere he's played, he's never had time to throw the football.
So he was wasn't he the highest paid first-round pick of all time or highest paid football player of all time?
And then they just kept paying him. He was hurt, and they were paying him big bucks.
So, that's what you got to look forward to, is in the NFL, if you don't make it, you're still making a good living. So, and then Marquise Hollywood Brown went to the Baltimore Ravens.
You despise the Ravens, don't you?
I hate the Ravens. And they're basically doing what the Browns are doing. They're building another Oklahoma. They got Alexander. They've got Marquise, and they also picked up Ben Powers. Yeah. So I hate the Ravens, but you know what? The Ravens have kind of done. What's the quarterback's name from Louisville that they got?
Jarvis. Javis, what is his name?
Doggone it. Anyway,
whatever.
Yeah, but Louisville quarterback. But they got rid of their quarterback, and they're building a speed passing team around this guy. So it's kind of interesting to see what they're doing. Yeah. Kind of the same thing as what it looks like that the Cardinals are going to do. So, are you happy with him going to the Ravens, or would you have rather him gone somewhere else?
Oh, well, I'm not a fan of the Ravens really at all, so I wish he'd went to the Houston Oilers. But since they don't exist anymore, I guess it doesn't really bother me where they go. I just want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
And, of course, I think, when he puts his 4.240 speed out there, he's going to be another – what's the kid that just got busted from OSU that – can't keep from slapping the women and children around?
There's so many of them from there, Rob. I don't know.
Anyway, the kid from Kansas City.
Oh gosh.
You know what I'm talking about, Speedster.
Yeah. See, we stay on top of all these names, don't we?
Well, so I don't know that that Hollywood will go in and start there, but I bet he gets some opportunities to run back punts and kicks. What do you think?
Oh yeah. And he may not be. It said one of the guys. Christopher Hainwinkle from USA Today Sports said he may not be the most productive, but he will be the most dangerous.
That's for sure. So, man, he's quick and jukey. If you get to him, you're going to take him down. He's not like he's going to run through you or something like that, or break your tackle. But getting to him is the trick.
Now, the one that surprised me that didn't go on Thursday night, so I missed my prediction of 3 on the first round.
You were close though. Yeah, 2 picks into the second.
Yeah, Cody Ford. I still can't believe somebody didn't grab him before the Bills did. But could you imagine getting drafted by the Bills?
No. It's -20. Let's go practice in the snow. Okay. No,
there is nothing fun about it's Buffalo for one. It's cold. It's miserable.
They don't have a dome either, right?
No, they don't have a dome. And they played in 4 straight Super Bowls, lost all 4. 3 of them to the Cowboys, wasn't it?
and we killed them. It wasn't like 7-14 or anything. It was like 55-10.
And it's just, nothing in Buffalo seems fun. About being made to go there. They got Niagara Falls, a big giant.
So does Canada.
Yeah. But congratulations to Cody. He's going to be a, opening day starter. He's a beast.
Right.
And then Bobby Evans was the number 97 pick to the Rams. The Rams, man, they got a good offense.
Yeah, I think he's a good pickup. He's going to push whoever's starting in his spot this next year. He's going to push them hard.
Yeah. But I think, I think they're probably, they may move him into guard. I wouldn't doubt, or because their right tackle is solidified and that's what he played. So I don't know. I mean, you're not going to that explosive Rams offense. They're going to find somewhere on that line for him. Drew Samia got the number 114th pick to the Minnesota Vikings.
That's just as bad as Buffalo, I think.
Yeah, they do play in a dome though. That PETA got onto because birds were killing themselves flying into the glass.
Isn't that the birds' fault?
Yeah, I think so. No, it's the builder's fault because they made the glass too clear, so they think they can fly into it. So, but the Vikings did trade up to get Samia, so they got plans for him. They've got their new zone running game is what they're running now. They call it Mini's new zone running game. So, see how he does with that. Ben Powers, we already said, the 123rd pick to the Ravens. Orlando Brown and Ben Powers join Tony Jefferson, Orlando Brown, and Mark Andrews onto the Baltimore roster.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I like it.
No, I don't. Why would you like it? Rob, you're killing me.
I'm going to have to watch the Ravens a little bit just so I can see our boys play a little bit.
Yeah. Austin Siebert, number 170 to the Cleveland Browns.
Wait a minute. Answer me this. How rare is it for a kicker to be picked up in the draft?
I don't know how rare it happens. I don't think it's very often, I mean, not very high. I mean, obviously nobody's the number one pick, but, most people were saying they didn't, it was a 5th round pick. It's a good pick. I mean, the guy's going to be productive.
Oh, absolutely. He's a punter and a kicker.
Yeah. So
he's not just going to handle one side of it.
Obviously the Cleveland Browns, intend to use him. They because he's going to get, he's going to get a signing bonus. I don't know what the 5th round signing bonus is, but
it's better than nothing.
It's probably more than I'm making 3 years. So, but and then of course we talked about Rodney Anderson. If anybody deserved a chance to make it in the pros, it's Rodney. He's a good kid,
talented kid.
Yeah, and
not only is he a good kid, he's loaded with talent.
And just stay a little bit healthy. And then we had the undrafted free agents: Amani Bledsoe to the Titans, Curtis Bolton to the Packers, Carson Meyer to Jacksonville, and Marcella Sutton to Seattle. Now, I'm not being, negative or anything else. If you're an undrafted free agent, you got a chance to make, a practice squad. I don't, Meyer, maybe because Meyer's a giant.
Yeah, he's prototype.
Yeah.
He's NFL prototype size. So.
Yeah. So, hey, they didn't get left by the wayside. They offered them, an opportunity to come and earn a job. It's kind of like being a walk-on.
Well, I mean, yeah. How hard
we don't have a scholarship, but we'd like to give you a chance. Come on in. So it ought to be interesting to see who do you think has the most immediate impact, Rob, out of these guys?
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, without a doubt. He's going to start. I mean, if he has it down or if he doesn't have it down, I think he's starting for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
So,
and I think he has all the ability in the world to do it. I mean, again, I think he's a different, any elite athlete like him is a different breed. You know what I mean? It's just knowing that I'm coming in and these guys are laying their entire franchise on this kid's shoulders. That's something I really haven't heard a lot of people talk about. I mean, the superstar, the professionals on the NFL Network and stuff. Nobody has really said, they're putting this franchise on this kid's shoulder and Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah. I think they're really rolling the dice.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, hey, they fire Kingsbury, trade Murray off or whatever, or keep Murray, bring in somebody else. The only thing that, people keep talking about Kingsbury, and he's a great offensive mind. He's a great play caller. He was a play caller for A&M with, the crazy kid, Johnny, Manziel. He's a great offensive mind. Head coach, maybe not, but I mean, hey, he's still, he's coached some really great quarterbacks. He's got another great quarterback, but they're talking about, he's bringing this, these teams, and even like Baltimore is starting to lean towards these spread run and gun style offenses like Oklahoma and stuff. Literally, how many college football coaches have made it big in the NFL? And of recent coaches, really, USC and Seattle.
I know you're talking about dude with the messed up nose. Has a cell phone last name. What is it?
Oh gosh! See, man, this is what happens when you get old. Everybody,
everybody knows who we're talking about.
Yeah, everybody knows who we're talking about. But Seattle's coach, he, Jimmy Johnson. Okay, and let's just face it. Okay, me and you, Rob, could have coached the
the Dallas Cowboys in that era. Absolutely.
Jerry Jones bought, the era before salary. He bought a championship team, paid everybody the most amount of money he could.
Arguably, though, probably the best line ever.
Oh yeah,
in pro football.
Yeah, but look at Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly. Everybody was excited when he. Oh my gosh, he's in.
Yeah.
He's in Philadelphia and just choked it off there, and then they sent him. And then. San Francisco was, hey, we'll take him. We'll let him build it.
Dennis Erickson.
Yeah.
Woo! Pulled it.
Well, no, it's the current coach at Seattle. Dennis Erickson was one too. But he went back. He coached USC, beat the thunder out of us. Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, yeah.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Golly. But Pete Carroll is the only one in recent history to have success in the NFL. Won a Super Bowl. It's played in 2.
Yeah.
Still hate his guts. Do not like him. But Kingsbury going to there, is this, I think we'll see what, the Ravens and Kingsbury will do. But so far, with this spread them out run, hurry up offense, it's 0-1. Chip Kelly, it didn't work out.
Yeah, things are evolving to some degree, and you know what? Honestly, I think that they've studied Lincoln Riley's offense, and it's different. It's different. It's not just a run and gun. There's a read and react measure there that I think that people are like, oh, okay, this is what's happening.
Right, and Kingsbury and Lincoln, theirs is a hybrid of what Leach does. Everybody will tell you what Leach does will not work in the NFL.
Well, I don't know about I don't know about that.
But most experts say, but all of them are leaning towards, Lincoln's would, because Lincoln, we all know, Sooner fans know Oklahoma runs the ball. Those folks outside of Oklahoma think we're a spread and pass out. We do.
60-40.
Yeah, 60-40 run, and we will run all over you if you let us. If you,
If you don't, we'll throw all over you.
Yeah. So
pick your poison.
But given his ruthers, Lincoln will run the ball, and has proven that in the 2 years that he's been the head coach. It's not a run heavy, it's not a pass heavy. It's they try to do both, and they try to do both well, and they do, but they end up running the ball more than they throw it. So I think his and Kingsbury is a hybrid of what they learned from Leach, knowing, what, we don't want to sit out here and throw the ball 172 times, even when you're up, 75-10, because you don't have any other plays in your playbook.
I.e. Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what he did at Tech.
Yeah. You don't have any other plays in your playbook. So, Lincoln is built around. So I think Lincoln's style of offense would work better. I'm interested to see what Kingsbury does. If he's really capable. I haven't even heard who his staff is. Did he put together a staff, or is he having to take the staff that they have? I have heard nothing, nor will I go look it up because I'm not a Cardinals fan.
Interested.
Same way, I didn't look up, who all the coaching staff was last year with Cleveland. It does kind of shock me, though. It doesn't really, but I'm being kind of a smart ass here with this one. is nobody ran out and bought Cardinals jerseys this year?
Huh. Well, it ain't over yet.
Yeah, half of the Sooner Nation by this time last year in the draft had their Baker Mayfield Browns jerseys.
Well, people loved Baker, I think, in a way they didn't love Kyler. People love Kyler because of everything that he did and everything he accomplished. But Baker, I don't know, was ingrained, in Sooner Nation. 3 years versus 1.
He's the modern day Bosworth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
arrogant, cocky. Me and Rob, you and I have talked about it. But Demo, when he filled in for you, if Baker's your quarterback, you loved him. If he wasn't, you hated him. It's the same way with Nick Saban. Nick Saban, if he's your coach, you love him. Everybody else in the world hates him. Bob Stoops was that way. If he was your coach, hey, he's the greatest coach. You don't say anything bad about Bob, but by God, if you're Oklahoma State fans, you hate Bob Stoops' guts.
SEC guy, you hate Bob Stoops, right?
So that's what Baker was our kids' generation's Bosworth.
Yeah,
he
wasn't quite as cool as Bob.
Yeah, and honestly, if I had my ruthers to have somebody in a fight with me, even today, it would still be Boz.
It'd still be Boz. No offense, Baker, but the Boz is the Boz.
Yeah, and the Boz is the Boz. He's this Sooner era's, Brian Bosworth.
Point. I like that.
And it seems like Oklahoma, in these great eras that we've had, there's always been, and this, I'm just going into my lifetime, you look at the Selman brothers. I mean, that was, the dominance that they had, and they were arrogant. Okay. I mean,
well, listen, I don't mind somebody that's arrogant if they can back it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And Baker always did.
Always.
Always
did.
Let's face it. We all know why Georgia beat us. And it wasn't because of Baker.
No.
And we all know why Alabama beat us. It wasn't because of Kyler.
Well, let's stop talking about that.
We're not. Let's talk a little bit of what's happened the last couple of weeks with our commitments. And I don't know what to read. Rob, we've always said we are not recruiting gurus, recruiting and analysts. We are fans, just like you guys out here listening to us.
Yeah.
There's people out there like the greatest. He's been on the. I think, what is wrong with us tonight, Rob? James Hill.
Yeah.
James Hill has been on. That's what he does for a living. Brandon Drum, our friend Brandon Drum, he does it. Both of them in their own right doing all this stuff. I don't get it. I don't understand it, how well it follows. But basically, you all know it, that Oklahoma lost a commit, a 2024 star athlete. Drew Sanders announced that he was no longer committed to the Oklahoma Sooners and was 100% fully committed to the University of Alabama. Most experts will say it was because he committed to Lincoln Riley to play tight end. However, he made it clear that he really wanted to play on the defensive end side of the ball.
Right.
Now, my question to you is, Rob, if you've got a 4-star athlete and he says, I want to play on the defensive side of the ball, do you go, well, I want you to play tight end, but you know what? I'm going to put you where you're best at. I'll give you a chance at both. And if you can cut it on the defensive side of the ball, because the good Lord knows we need a 4-star athlete on the defensive side of the ball. Is that what you do, or do you just go, no, you're going to play tight end? What do you think?
Gosh, that's a tough call. It really just depends on what kind of talent you got over there. if you've got a guy that needs some help bad, I think you let him.
Yeah.
And you might let him play both ways if he could ever handle that. Which, that's asking a lot from a kid. But
Yeah.
But I certainly don't think you tell him no and alienate him to go play for Alabama.
Yeah. We don't know all the ins and outs of it. I mean, that's, my opinion is that you go, hey, if he even hints of going somewhere else, then you go, look, dude, if you want to play on that side of the ball, you come and you earn that spot. You tell them where you want to play. You go take it. If not, I'm going to put you at tight end.
Yeah.
But, that's where I would rather you be at. But if you want to go on defense.
Well, here's the thing about that. It's not like he went to Kansas.
Yeah.
He went to Alabama.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're not losing them to the Mad Hatter. But I think, and I've seen a lot of fans talking, and I've kind of been the same way. Our recruiting class right now, we're number 16th in the country. We don't have nearly as many commitments as we did this time last year. But then I got to think, last year wasn't a fluke. It was a phenomenon. Lincoln wrapped up one of the top, he had the greatest single-day recruiting in the history of recruiting. Everybody will tell you that.
Yep.
Snagged up all these guys, and they stayed committed. This year, we didn't get as much. Right now, we've got Jace McClellan from down in Texas. He's a 5-star running back. We want 5-star running backs. Dante Manning from Kansas City. He's a 4-star cornerback. He's 6 foot tall. Michael Henderson, 4-star athlete. He's committed from Carrollton, Texas.
So let me ask you this: when they commit as an athlete, are they saying, "I will come and play either or"?
I think the athletes are kind of like I think Buki was listed as an athlete. They could play anywhere. They may have played corner or safety, but there's somebody that can play in the defensive backfield anywhere you put them. So I think they're just considered an athlete, or they could put them on a skilled position. Maybe that's what we would say.
Wide receiver or cornerback,
or running back,
best, wherever I'm going to start.
Ryan Watts from Texas, 4-star cornerback. He's 6'2.5". That's good. DJ Graham, from Keller, Texas, 4-star athlete. And then Trayvon West from Arlington, 3-star wide receiver. So we've got.
So this is what surprises me about. You said we haven't signed as many this year as
we haven't got as many committed.
Well, you know what? Last year we signed 3 of the top 5 wide receivers in the nation. So if I'm a receiver out there, I'm like, probably not going to go to Oklahoma.
I don't know. Man, if you're the top, it's like we talked about it on the video. I saw a thing about Lincoln Riley was all over the NFL draft this week, or last week. He was on everything. And everybody said, if you're a high school quarterback or wide receiver, why aren't you going to Oklahoma? It's the best offense out there. It's the guy who is putting these guys into the NFL.
It's the best coach of the best offense out there.
He's putting skilled players into the NFL. Westbrook, is eating it up down in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. He's got. Hollywood just signed, Baker. He's putting these guys, Anderson, all these guys are going into the NFL and they're playing and they're being an impact.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you want to get you in the NFL? You can go
Well, if you're an offensive player.
Yeah, if you're a defensive player, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's where we as Sooner fans turn the corner going, where we had one of the greatest NFL drafts in the history of Oklahoma football. Okay? These guys went. They're going to be immediate impacts, and not one of them was an NFL. It was a defensive player. Not one.
Not one.
And we put, how many was that? 9 guys in the NFL. Let me count them again on my fingers and toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 were drafted. 8 were drafted, and all of them except one was kicker, were offense. So the 2 defensive players were taken as free agents. So,
and honestly, I don't know how Buzzy Bolton's going to work out in
no,
Green
I
Bay.
don't either. I mean,
he's really undersized for a pro linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's frustrating to sit here and go, that's what I mean. It's like this may be the last good thing we talk about for the season, because now we just have to look and go, what's going to happen between now and then? We got Spencer Rattler coming in. That's offensive side. We got the rest of the 2019 class, which is primarily offense. We do have some defensive guys coming in that I'm looking forward to seeing, but are those guys? I don't think we have any on the interior that are going to be an immediate impact. They got to put muscle, they got to put meat on, they got to get bigger, faster, stronger. We've got some skilled guys coming in, but I just don't see. I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with this defense.
Yeah, especially we can't afford to keep shipping them over to the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently, we were all excited about Michael Thompson coming in.
Yeah, and now
he's playing offensive line.
Yeah.
So maybe Michael Thompson is the one that's seen. Listen, if I want to go to the pros, I need to get on the side of the ball.
Yeah, I need to be over there. Maybe that's what happened. I mean, but this is what we talked about. What Rob, you and I did when we first started the podcast. Is now we're getting into Lincoln Riley coaching completely. He's coming into his third year and his fourth year. I said it, and I think you said it too. I'm more interested to see what he did in years 3 through 5 than what he did through 1 and 2, because 3 through 5 are the years that now everything is his effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would have made changes on defense. He finally did. His style of recruiting, his style of players, all the way across the board. Without sounding negative, I just don't see an emphasis that I want to see on the defensive side of the ball with the recruiting. And
well, okay, so you're you're looking at it. You're looking at a macro view, and you need to focus a little bit, because him bringing in Grinch, that is what he's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on the other end, I'm sitting there going, it's going to be a year, 2 years before we see anything of that. And not that look, we all know that, the two teams that have dominated the last 6-7 years have been Alabama and Clemson, and they didn't just jump on that bandwagon. I mean, Clemson, it took them a while to get there.
But they've been good for several years.
They've been really good. Yeah, they've been really good for several years, and they've been dominant for the last 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And what we just, I'm just hoping is that Lincoln can put this together to be the longevity of building a dominant, powerhouse here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is known. Oklahoma is known as the best offense, the best offensive coach, the best offensive mind out there. But Well,
and you know what I like about Oklahoma and the continuing of excellence? When you talk about the blue bloods of college football, there are, I think, 4 schools that immediately come to mind.
Yeah.
And we are one of those.
Yeah.
So he just needs to keep that. I mean, we're not going to accept 8-4 seasons. We're not going to accept, going through the whole draft without anybody being drafted.
Yeah.
Like some other schools south of us did.
Yeah. I hope your buddy Bracken.
Yeah.
Hope his resume on Indeed. I ought to look it up, see if I can find him a position with.
Well, I mean, he graduated from the University of Texas, so he ought to be able to, mow lawns or dig ditches or, something. Paint fingernails.
Chase bats down there in Austin.
Whatever. I mean, They're not totally worthless.
Yeah, they're not totally worthless. We need to give another boomer out, Rob. You want to give another boomer out? Boomer?
do it.
Boomer?
Yeah.
You got to say boomer. Rob.
Boomer.
Boomer. We got to give another boomer.
Let's do a Billy Sims boom.
Boomer! Boomer!
Your wife's going to think we're crazy.
She's fixing to throw something against the wall. It goes out to the Oklahoma softball pitcher.
Oh, yeah. Giselle Juarez?
Giselle Juarez threw her second perfect game this year, shutting out Iowa State 2-0. How many times does anybody, whether baseball, softball, anything, have a perfect game in 2 in a year?
That ain't easy to do at all. But you know what? Those girls, what are they now? 36?
It's ridiculous.
37?
Yeah.
37 straight or something like that? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, number one team in the country again.
Yeah.
Man, Patty just reloads it down there. And, we haven't had a chance also to, throw some boomers out to the gymnastics teams.
Oh, the girls?
The girls won the national title again.
Swaggy Maggie.
Yeah.
Repeated as all around national champion.
The OU men's took second and was the first meet they have not won
4 years.
4 years.
Stanford beat them.
When you look at it again, we don't, obviously you can tell by Rob and my physique, we don't know much about, gymnastics, but it looked like it was close, but I guess when scores are close in
I don't even try
gymnastics, they're really not that close.
It's like hockey. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not trying to find out.
Or cricket, or soccer, or
that's just wrong.
Yeah, any of those things, But that's one of the things we're going to start doing is dropping out some boomers to people. So again, if you have somebody, whether on Twitter, a fan or a player or something, and we'll keep an eye out on stuff, and we'll even throw out boomers to fans and, a good tweet or something like that. But are you ready to give the big announcement, Rob?
I am ready.
We've been debating on when to put this out. We finally got tired of sitting on it.
Absolutely. And I did kind of slip it to some people.
Well, I did too. I've told people, but we got a little email message from a certain production company who wanted to use a clip, and they wanted our permission to use a clip from our podcast. And
the one on Spencer Rattler in particular.
Yeah, the one on Spencer Rattler and then we signed the permission form, and then they sent us a deal. We didn't know if it was going to be used, and they sent us a deal about a month ago that said, hey, we need to know how we need to put you guys in the credits. So, Sooner Football Fans Podcast, myself and Rob are going to be on QB1 on Netflix. A clip of our podcast is going to be on during the Spencer Rattler segment of that during the time that he was suspended from
school,
from the team.
High school, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to use a clip of us discussing his suspension and what we felt like it meant to the University of Oklahoma. So,
and to the kid.
So, yeah. So, there you go. We're going to be. You can sit and anxiously watch QB1 next year, and wait to hear Rob and I throw out some boomers and talk about Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, did they give you a date when that was coming out, or no?
No, it will. I'll have to look at my emails. It will be towards the end because it happened towards the end of the season.
Okay,
so,
we'll remind everyone.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on when we make our.
And we won't forget the little people when we're rich and famous. Just FYI.
When we hit the worldwide TV circuit
I will be 100 air.
100 pennies.
100 air.
But no, we're pretty excited about that, and
absolutely.
We are also still efforting. We're waiting on the information to come from the Big 12 of, as you guys know, Kerry Murdoch and some of the guys at Sooner Scoop, and brought out the thing that we should go to the Big 12
Media
Days. So I actually sent Kerry an email today, or DM, and he said they still haven't released it, and he would let me know when released it to tell me how to fill it out and get it in. So fingers crossed.
Could be interesting.
Could be interesting. Put us in Dallas with all the media people and, see what happens. But those are the two things we're working on. But we're real excited about the QB one. It was kind of cool getting contacted by the production company of QB1 and asking to use some of our stuff. So anyway,
yeah.
Rob, what else you got? Anything else you want to go rattle on about?
You know what? We haven't talked about this, I don't think, at length, but I think we have addressed it. But is it the bottom of the barrel for the Mad Hatter? I mean, he was at OSU, so it doesn't get a whole lot lower than that.
It doesn't get a whole lot lower than that.
But then
Kansas did beat Texas. So.
Kansas did, yeah. You remember that time? Anyway, but Kansas, I mean, come on.
Well, I don't know what all happened down at LSU, but something happened that, they fought for him initially, then they got rid of him, and for some reason, nobody went jumping for him. You know what I mean? You never heard his name come up.
I know, but there's so many openings, like even, Bowling Green, San Diego State, someplace like that's better than Kansas, isn't it?
But, maybe it was one, that they came a-calling and he said, hey, I don't, not that we pay a lot of attention to what goes on everywhere else, but I never remember anybody bringing his name up on any coaching opening. Not once. Not on Kansas. Not even recently, even Texas when they got Goober down there. Herman. Nobody was talking about Les Miles going to Texas.
Nope.
Makes
me wonder if he was blackballed all around.
It may have been.
Because Kansas will take pretty much whatever they can get. Just saying. Although you know what, they've had some coaches down there.
Yeah.
What's the guy that was at Notre Dame for a little while?
Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss. They had Charlie Weiss. I mean they had some coaches.
And then the quarterback from Nebraska that went there.
Scott Frost?
No, Scott Frost is in Nebraska.
Yeah,
now.
Scott Frost is in Nebraska.
He was coaching Buffalo, University of Buffalo.
Dadgummit.
Frazier. Tommy Frazier.
Yeah, Tommy Frazier. Not Joe Frazier.
Not Joe Frazier. But he people thought, hey, look what he did at Buffalo, and he was going to come to Kansas. And, I mean, Kansas is, they got good there for, in the 90s, they were pretty good. And then Mangino had them playing pretty good. And that's another one that you wonder if he got blackballed. But, yeah, I don't know. The Mad Hatter, I just don't – it doesn't seem to fit, other than – do you really expect to go to Kansas and win a national title or to compete even at a high level? I mean, Bill Snyder did for a little while, with Kansas State, but they never got past the Big 12 title. I mean, Kansas State never won, a Big 12 title with Snyder.
Well, Kansas is 100% a basketball school.
Yeah.
So they're not going to recruit football players well. In fact, you know what? I think we need to give them props on coaching up the 1 and 2 stars that they do get because they put 40 on us this year.
Yeah, they put 40. No, but however, have you ever paid attention to the Kansas home, when Sooners are playing up at Kansas and their end zone seats? They got some like recliners in their end zones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I wondered how much those blue recliners cost to get to. You can probably just go down there and sit in them.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know if I would take the Kansas job if they would call me and say, hey.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, at least their uniforms are tolerable. I mean,
blue and red and white.
We have to wear orange.
Yeah, well, that's true. They do have a Jayhawk. I don't know quite what the Jayhawk is, but it is what it is. But anyway, so the Mad Hatter, you got that off your chest. Anything else that you can think of that we haven't brought up?
No, I think we covered it.
Okay, well, then I think that's the podcast, guys. Thanks for listening. We will be dropping our Thursday Night from Louis video this week. You probably look for maybe one podcast a week for about the next 4 weeks until June. Then we'll start kicking out a few others because, like I said, we got some personal things, some trips and family stuff going on the last couple of weeks and going into May, and then we'll get full back into it. So thanks for listening once again. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. Sooner Football Fans Podcast is hosted by Rob Nixon, Terry Long, and occasionally Caleb Long. It is produced at the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma. Follow us on Twitter at SoonerFBFans and like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Sooner Football Fans, and visit our website at www.SoonerFootballFans.com to read our blogs and keep up with our tailgating activities. Boomer Sooner, everyone.